running through our veins. Heartbeat, love is making waves. It gets hard when we start moving through the pain, but deep inside we'll see, one day we will be rising above the ashes, moving beyond all the
All right, we are getting started with our developer Q&A. I am Austin, by the way, and I'm joined by Mark McDonald and Charles Rome from the Enhanced team. How are you two doing today? Bright and early for you two, if I am not mistaken.
Is.
Yes.
Yeah, early here in Tokyo. Luckily, not too hot. We're not melting yet. It's gonna get to 100 degrees today. So yeah. Welcome to Tokyo in August.
But yeah, if you guys want to just kind of let our Luminous players know who you are exactly. I think our Tetris community may be more familiar with you, Mark. But yeah, Mark, if you want to just introduce yourself and let people know what your role is with Lumines Arise, and I guess Enhance in general.
Sure, yeah. So Mark McDonald, I am a creative producer on Lumines Arise, and yeah, I kind of do whatever needs doing. Charles is much more, as he can explain, much more boots on the ground, embedded with the team, seeing all the day-to-day stuff. I just like swoop in every week or couple of weeks and be like, tighten up the graphics on level 5 or whatever. I just do annoying things like, hey, what if we did this, and then poof, flitter away and what have you. But I also do some of the PR and marketing and kind of just help out here and there wherever the game feels like it needs it.
Cool. And then Charles, I don't think you've been on any Enhanced streams yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a first Charles face reveal. At least
it is.
I
did translate for Ishihara once a while ago on one of these, but that's about it. Hey everybody, my name's Charles. I'm a project manager / line producer on Lumines Arise. So I help out with organizing the team. I'm there with scrums and task management and such, and I'm also helping between our marketing and development, just making sure everyone's on the same page. So I'm really happy to be on this project and to be here today. So happy to talk a little bit more about Lumines Arise with everybody.
Excellent. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for joining me bright and early here. I guess to just
on a Saturday too, by the way. Everyone.
That shows the passion here at
That's the love. That's the love we have for the community. No, honestly, we love our community. We love everyone on Discord. You guys have been such great supporters with everything in Tetris, and yeah, we're so excited about finally having the demo out there and people actually playing it. So it's super cool. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for being on the Discord. Thanks for being passionate members of our community. And yeah, it's it's fun doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, we want to do a lot more up to launch and of course after. So
yeah, and I guess for Charles, what is your first impressions from people getting their hands on the demo for the first time? I think I even saw you playing. You got sniped by another live streamer the other night, Sushi Drew, our co-host on Tuesday. But have you been having fun, enjoying people finally playing Lumines Arise, stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, finally getting this demo out has been a huge thing. It's just a lot of prep. This has been something we've been really preparing for a while. I had a great time playing as Sushi Drew. Fortunately, I lost, but I had a great time playing. He's really good. Yeah, I think he even got a burst over 150 that match, so I'm not too disappointed. I can get, if I get over 100 in burst, I'm really happy about it. So but yeah, I'm really excited that the team, we finally got the game out for the demo. There's more to come. This is just a sneak peek. So yeah.
Yeah, that's been so cool to see too. Like, it kind of shades of people what they were doing with Tetris Effect and the zone clears. Like, seeing what people are doing with burst and how they're setting up for it and all that kind of stuff has been one of the really cool things out of having it out there. And now we have the Lumi live, the weekend Lumi live going, which is, I think, also we're really excited to see people reacting to that. We can talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I even have some images. We'll share some of it. It was literally one day, and people are trying to figure out how to full board like your burst, right? Just have a burst cover the whole board, which is absolutely insane. And it's also super awesome that people never underestimate puzzle game players and their ability to do that kind of stuff quickly. So, but yeah, I guess a few things before we get started. Just a reminder on some of the big news for people that may have missed it. Yes, the demo is available now on PS5 and Steam. Be sure to play it if you haven't already. Just search Lumines Arise Demo on either storefront. It should pop up. We'll also drop a command here in the Twitch chat. And yes, be sure to download and play. There is cross-platform multiplayer and 3 stages available from the Journey mode to test out. So be sure to check that out. And also, this could be a fun question for you all, but here's a look at our Digital Deluxe Edition on the PS5. So some avatars you may or may not be able to guess what they are, especially with the nameplates behind them. But yeah, so we have avatars from Humanity, Tetris Effect, Astrobot, and Rez. And this is a question I extended to Sushi Drew and CJ on Tuesday, and I want to offer it to you. But I guess when you have your hands on these avatars, which one are you going to be repping on day one? And I personally have chosen the Humanity dog, I guess, because it's something about that game that speaks with me. But maybe Charles, which avatar are you repping on day one? And you could also take a safe answer and say you're going to rep all of them, but yeah, be honest.
Well, of course I'll be doing it, but I think I'm very excited to finally have Astrobot, so I will totally be Astrobotting it up.
Gotta be Astrobot. Yeah. That was a lot of work. That was a lot of work too, by the way. Like, Sony was amazing. I mean, they were so accommodating. It's so cool that we're able to do that. We're so excited for that. He looks like, when you see the full reveal too, I think with all of these characters, yeah, everybody's gonna be really happy. But my answer is Astrobot too.
I'm very excited.
Cool. And yes, Rez, Tetris Effect, we've got all the enhanced titles in there as well, so it's going to be pretty cool to see, especially, I mean, everyone's already had a little bit of a taste with the randomized avatars you get when you log into the demo, right? But there's going to be plenty of customization available for you to flex your avatar and stuff like that in the future, and we'll get into that a little bit as well. But all right, I think we can maybe hop into one more thing real quick.
Do it.
Yes, the new single, Dreamland, which I think people should be hearing right now. Hold on. Yes, there. Okay, you should be hearing the Dreamland single, or actually it might be voice right now, but either way, new single dropped. Be sure to download it via, I believe it's on Bandcamp, or pretty much any streaming service. You can search Hydelic or head to luminous.game/music to find it on your preferred platform. But yes, let's hop into it. We only have so much time.
Only Human is playing right now. That's also available on it. But yeah, the Chameleon stage music, which is called Dreamland, is banger. It's the music you heard in the demo. So yeah, check that out.
All right. So
I feel like. Oh yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead. One more thing, and then we'll hop into the Q&A.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we should name the chameleons too at some point.
They should have names. I agree.
They are different colors, aren't they? Or is it just the lights? I think.
Let's get the community to name the chameleon. Let's put up a vote, Austin. Let's
Oh, that's
There we
okay.
go.
Okay.
Get them engaged. Yeah, give us some names, folks.
All right, yeah. Let us know your chameleon names in chat. I guess left, starting with left, and then the right one, and maybe we'll bring it up later. But one said John Luminous, and right is Gary Luminous. I really like that one to get things kicked off here. But yes, Jim and Joe. Okay, Bodie McBoatface. All right, there we go. We got chat interaction now. But okay, yeah, let's hop into the Q&A. We only have so much time here. We definitely want to touch on a lot of the questions that the community's had. A lot of great questions, too. And keep that feedback coming, by the way. There's been some really cool, even just like small quality of life feedback people have suggested. Some things they want to see from older Luminous titles, etc. And we'll kind of hop into that here. But just to get things started and get into the questions here, something people may not be aware of, but how long has this game been in development, Mark? And I think given our small team, it's actually been in development for quite a while, right?
Yeah, so in a sense, it got into development really early. The way that Enhance works, at least with these games, is that the director / art director, Ishihara-san, who is also in that role on Tetris Effect, he kind of noodles on concept art just by himself, or with Mizuguchi-san, who is our boss and the head of Enhance, another creative producer, and they're kind of the core creative. They come up with kind of the concept, and then a lot of the stage ideas definitely get developed and they change in development and stuff like that. But a lot of them start with seeds that are generated in this super early, pre-production phase. And that pre-production phase started very early. I would say it was during COVID. So I think, 5 years ago almost. But in terms of actually like bringing on the team on board, spinning into production and things like that, I think it'll be about 3 years, maybe a little bit more by the time that we ship. So longer than the Tetris Effect, the original Tetris Effect, but about the same if you add in connected to it. So yeah, pretty good clip. But hence, part of the reason why the team is so excited to have people finally playing it now, like outside of the team. Like it's been something they've been working on for so long. So, and yeah, a lot of that is just the sheer volume. There's a lot more single player stuff that we haven't shown off yet that maybe we'll touch on like in vague terms today, but we'll be going into detail more later. A lot of that is the amount of stages. There's, I think we were saying 35 plus stages, all with the music, all with the burst mode version of them, all that have the different phases in them like Tetris Effect. So it's a high volume game, and then also shipping on Steam this time, which we're super excited about. But and of course PSVR 2 and in VR on Steam. So there's like a lot of, you kind of think of VR as its own platform. We're kind of like shipping on 4 platforms at first, like at launch this time. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm sure Charles can attest to that more than anybody.
Yeah, Charles, how long have you've been a part of the project for a while? You're also helping a lot with Humanity and getting that out of the door, right? But yeah, you've been with the New Moon team for quite a while now as well, right? In terms of production.
So I started with the New Moon team a little over a year ago for this to really just get it into the more of a when really into full production and everything. And it was a very much more advanced state when I started on it than concepts and stuff. But yeah, before that, I was on Humanity and stuff. But
Charles is our closer. We bring in Charles.
Closer.
Like a closing pitcher.
Rod Ferguson.
What's your closing pitcher intro music, Charles?
That's it's obviously going to be the Chameleon's Groove. Dreamland.
Okay,
Come
Dreamland. That's a shoe-in.
Yeah, come on.
Well, okay, I have another fun question, I guess, to get things rolling here. Let me pull up the demo. But hot off the press, I believe there is a Lumi live event here. And I guess there was a question at some point that, is there a Weekend Ritual-like event in Luminous Arise, or because on Tetris Effect we have a weekend event every weekend ever since launch, I believe, right? With the weekend ritual and then eventually the full moon events. And what kind of in-game events are planned for Luminous Arise?
Very good question, and we can show our part of our answer, I think, here. There is, and it's, we had really great feedback on the weekend ritual. It was fun for us to do too. It was kind of an excuse for everybody to get back together and play. As a result, we have our peak concurrency always on Saturday, and a lot of those people come in and play multiplayer too. So there's like a lot of good benefits out of it, and so we wanted to like a lot of stuff in Lumines, kind of take those learnings from Tetris Effect and do them hopefully like one better in Lumines, and hence what you're seeing here. The theme this weekend is this astronaut, and now that we've gotten looking there in the upper left, you can tally the community score. Austin at paltry sub 3,000. Obviously been
I got some work to do.
Community duty. Yeah, it just started. So one of the things, I think the weekend ritual was 24 hours, right? One of the things that we wanted to do is extend that time, and so we're going to be dialing this in. Part of what this demo is kind of figuring this out and tuning in and seeing, how it works and everything on our side too. But the idea is that hopefully wherever you are in the world, that a good part of your weekend, hopefully most of Saturday and Sunday at least, this thing will be running live. And similar to the weekend ritual, any playing that you do, in this case in multiplayer, any of the multiplayer modes, there's only one available in the demo, but there are other ones that we can maybe talk a little bit about. Any of that play that you do, you up your personal score, which then goes into that overall score in the upper left, and you can see, you're tracking it, and each bar that you pass, something is going to be happening in kind of the community, and then eventually getting to the full final bar, you get a reward. Like everybody that took part in it is going to get a reward. So you can see down there in the lower left the amount of time that's left in it. It's tracking this week's theme is this astronaut, who you can probably guess why that's the theme, hence the big astronaut that's kind of forming and then now bouncing around. If you saw it before the first phase, before the first 50,000 there in the upper left, you would have seen something a little bit different. And then as it goes, once it passes 100,000, it's going to be a little bit something different. And then, when you get to 200,000, it'll be more different. So, we hope people dig it. I want feedback on this, the same as everything else. But we're excited to watch along this weekend and see how people take to it.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely want to reiterate, all feedback is good feedback, and everything will be seen by the team to some extent. So be sure to get that in there, whether it's on the Discord, or there's also an in-game feedback button on Steam, or a QR code you can scan, and you can fill out a form there for us. And anything goes. We want to hear your feedback, whether you're a brand new player or an OG player. I will actually skip ahead to another question here while we are looking at discussing this multiplayer stuff. I saw a question on the Discord. The hub seems like there's something missing, maybe a little empty, in the sense that you can't necessarily interact with the players. Of course, that's for the demo, right? You can't see their profile and stuff like that. But I guess a question for Charles. Right. What ways can people look forward to interacting with other players in the hub and the, leaderboard, stuff like that, or just in general in Luminous Arise, whether it's emotes or some other methods and way to be social?
Yeah, I believe we're gonna have some emotes, of course, to be able to talk to each other, just to give your an easy way to show how you feel to other players. I believe there's high fives as well, which I personally like a lot. You'll also be able to interact a little bit more with, especially during this Lumi Live event. You'll be able to kind of you could kind of see people flying around a little bit, I think, in this. Yeah, you see a guy in the background right there. He was flying. So you could kind of fly around. Yeah, they're all flying around. You can fly around together in it and stuff. I think it's fun. And actually, just going back to this Lumi Live part too, right now you can see the astronaut. He's kind of like doing his little dance there, he's gonna get more and more, he's gonna do more dances. He's gonna be, more and more energetic as the score goes on. So
Spoil
definitely.
anything, Carl. Keep it general. I don't want to spoil that.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
Hot move.
That's one of my favorite parts of the Luby Live. Is just that astronaut and all the people flying. And there's gonna be different bosses and stuff. I'm very excited for Luby Live and what's gonna happen in the future for that. So definitely look out for that.
And
as far as
just adding, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Charles. Finish your thought.
Oh no, I was just gonna say then the other modes in the hub. You have the quick burst there, and you have the leaderboard league stuff, and leaderboard league is going to be more for asynchronous multiplayer, so you'll be competing with on different leaderboards and stuff. I think we have maybe later we'll talk more about the specific modes and everything, but definitely look forward to that. I personally like that a lot because I don't always want to just battle directly against people. I sometimes just want to have a mode where I can kind of sit there and just enjoy myself as well, not directly competing in a way, I guess you could say. So I kind of like that as well. And then the quick burst, I like this because this is just a way to practice our burst mode. So you just try to get the biggest burst you can. So for me, that's been really helpful. So trying to master my bursting. I still have a way to go. I mean, I get if I get over 100, I pat myself on the back, but I need to get to 2. Someone got like 400 or something, right? I'm not there yet.
Crazy person, maxing out everything. Sorry, I lost my headphones. Just turned themselves off suddenly. So, but I don't think we talked about going back to the original question, the how you can engage socially. It's disengaged in this demo, but you can see the prompt whenever you walk up to somebody. They show profile prompt, right? So, when that's active in the full game, you can see the player's stats in multiplayer. And you could actually directly challenge them, right, to a multiplayer right there, I think, which is kind of cool. So, that'll be another way that you could be doing more in this hub.
Cool. I have an instantaneous point of feedback here. Maybe a question for Charles. Will I be able to pet this cat next to the leaderboard league?
So that's a big point. That's a huge point with the dev team, actually. What can we do with the cat? So we are trying to think of something to do with the cat, so look out for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted to hear.
Somebody's mentioning, too, about a quick menu, because walking to each area is kind of a pain. Was that an idea that we talked about? I thought that might be something. I can't remember if that's planned for the game or not. Do you know, Charles?
Like a quick one,
just go to burst battle or go to whatever, and not walking over to a menu instead of having to walk over to each thing.
Oh yeah. I think the team is looking into that. I'm not sure what Solid has come up with that yet, but I'm pretty sure there will be something. But yeah, I'm not 100% positive. Yeah.
Okay, we can hop on into some other questions here. Okay, so this is maybe, one of the biggest feedback points from our players so far, and people trying out the demo. We've had a lot of really positive feedback in terms of the visual effects and stuff like that. But with visual effects can come some issues with readability for some players, right? When it comes to seeing their gameplay and stuff like that, because it's very difficult to balance the intense visuals that we're going for versus the readability of the gameplay, right? So I guess this is maybe something we can get started with Mark here. But so what are some things we're maybe going to be doing just generally to address these kind of readability issues? And I guess I can even just pull up the menu while we're doing that now, because there are some ways to address it. But go ahead and we can get that ball rolling.
Yeah. I could talk about this in general. There's a lot of good feedback, and we want to keep it coming. It's really helpful. That said, this is something that internally, we are definitely aware of. It's a big point that we talk about a lot. It's the same thing with Tetris Effect. There's readability and there's aesthetic quality, and if you're not careful, they can end up on one spectrum, and you have to choose that balance. Ideally, you get these things that are up here in my crazy hand example that I'm making here that do both, right? That are both super aesthetically pleasing and super readable. But sometimes you have to choose. It's on more of a direct slider, and what we try to do is find a good balance and or let the player set that, right? Because some people, no matter what you do, are going to want it more over here, and some people are going to want to have it more over there. So all of that said, there's two things. One is there are a lot of options in the game right now that not everybody is aware of. Some people are, and it's not a comprehensive list, but we can show some of them now in the accessibility menu, most of them, right? Things like turning off the different types of shake, making the playfield, like the background, opaque, which also I think makes the grid kind of that the blocks are on show up better. Stuff with the motion, stuff with the visual effects that come out. That all said, this is something that we will be addressing and looking at like right up until launch. So like, please keep that feedback coming. It's a lot of tuning. It's a lot of balancing. It's a lot of very fine, like what's the exact color that's used for this, or how does this effect exactly appear? So yeah, it's an ongoing process, but the feedback is great. And yeah, Charles, anything I missed or anything?
Well, no, I just know that that's definitely on the top, one of the top priorities of the team right now. They're really, the artists are they're all in the same room right now, look at the same monitors, saying, okay, is this how we want the fit? Like, you know, what's the readability? They're just trying to get that balance. So I know that especially in this last real month of work, that's definitely a huge point for the team. So yeah, definitely look out for that.
I know one thing too that people brought up specifically is like stage transitions. How it's different. A lot of the things that we get comments on are how the game is different for better or for worse in people's opinion than old school Lumines. And one of the things that I know people really liked about old Lumines is how boom, you just went right into the next. At that time they were skins, right? It was a skin because the playfield just stayed there and like the skin changed immediately, and you were into the next song and into the next stage. And so two things about that. I think one is that the transitions that are in the demo are not the same transitions that will be at least in journey mode in the final game, because the stages are out of order. So similarly, like when you go into the playlist feature, which maybe we'll talk about later, and set up your own, it's been in previous Lumines games, but you set up your own order for the stages to go in. We needed kind of like a generic transition. That's what you're seeing in this game, in this demo. But in the full game, in journey mode, there's some pretty cool transitions where both musically and visually, like something cool happens to pass from one stage to the other.
Yeah.
Now that said, it's not in the full game journey mode even like an immediate transition. So people are talking about old school Lumines. It's right there. There are some things we're looking at doing to minimize to tune it to minimize the impact of like, oh, it's like jarring, I'm like starting over. In general, that's done in journey mode because we realized like some people do like that in Lumines. For a lot of people, that was like super intense. Like they would pause the game because it was like non-freaking stop. You were right into the next thing. And when you're in the zone, that's great, but it wasn't that way for everybody. That all said, there is a mode in the game that at least is set up the same way of old Lumines, where you basically play until you play as far as you can on one game until you get game over, which is called survival mode. And so we're looking at that. That's something that's a little more like, at least the setup is more like old Lumines, where you're playing more to go as far as you can through as many stages as you can, and less about score and more about less about like the enjoying the stages and the things that the new journey mode is about. But nothing we can really talk about now, but we are looking at ways of like, that survival mode. Basically like how can we make that also fun and interesting for players of like that were more towards OG old school Lumines.
Yeah, and I guess just to reiterate that point, because it is so important, that be sure to provide feedback on this kind of thing so that we can get the best, like, middle ground when it comes to even the journey mode. But yeah, we're looking into that feature for, like Mark said, for the survival mode and stuff like that. But I've already seen some really good just quality of life suggestions from people. But
yeah, there's little tweaks that we can do too. Again, I'm like avoiding saying anything in particular because we don't want to get people's hopes up about anything. But even if you've seen feedback and we've even said feedback and you're like, oh well, they know that, I don't need to provide that, it's actually good and important because we see, based on the number of people that are talking about things, how to prioritize. There's no way we can do everything that we want to do. That might lead into like the HDR conversation. Like there's a list of stuff that we would want to do in a perfect world. We're never going to do all of it, but people talking about it helps us in the team like prioritize stuff.
Yeah,
should we talk about
with the transitions too? Can I just mention something about the transitions? Like in the game, the final game, like it's gonna be much more tuned for each stage. So like there's a reason why the stages are gonna be in a specific order, and the transitions are gonna be very specific for the specific stages they're going for, and the music is gonna be tuned to that as well. So it will be very different in terms of like the experience than the current demo in that aspect. The demo is very plain transitions, so I just wanted to add that little thing about the transitions as well for journey mode.
Yeah, and I think I'm really excited for people to see these transitions you're referring to, and yeah, it definitely will be expanded on and tailored towards the certain stages, right? So yeah, I'm super excited for people to get their hands on that on November 11th. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions regarding specific readability things, some other like things we've seen mentioned, possible improvements, like stuff like the drop guide, right? Where that's more like, I think there's already some features already in the gameplay options for enabling and disabling drop guide, but yeah, we're definitely open to feedback on things that help with the readability of the game, and yeah, definitely keep it coming.
Drop guide will definitely be updated, by the way, guys. We're gonna make it look a lot better, so please, yeah.
There we go, I got something.
Drop guide is that strip. The drop guide being, just for anybody who doesn't know, right? That strip showing where, if you drop it, where you're gonna where it's gonna land.
Yeah, you can see it a little easier on the right side. There's a kind of a white light hue behind the piece where it's going to drop which columns it's going to drop in. Currently, I think you can enable it or disable it, but yeah, stay tuned for changes regarding that, right?
Yeah, it's a little too subtle right now.
Okay, well, I think we can hop into our next question here. This one, is a bit different in terms of tone, but so some players were saying they're able to get the S rank quite easily in the demo. Will getting high ranks be harder in the full release? And maybe this is a good Charles question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we made the demo based on the easy mode setting, so I think that would skew the results to make it just so we want people to feel good about their first most of the time it's we haven't had the full game out, and it's been a while since some people have played Lumines maybe, so we wanted to err on the easier side for difficulty and ratings, but rest assured, definitely for the full release and everything, we'll have difficulty of the hard modes, expert modes, and all that, so that should definitely be addressed in all of that. So and it's also a balancing act too, so coming from here on out, we're still actively working on the balancing of the scoring and such as well. So and with that, the demo didn't have, for example, single color bonuses, which in the full game will have all clear bonuses and as well as single color bonuses, so that'll change the dynamic of scoring as well. So there is some things that weren't in the demo. We just want to err on the side of a little bit more easier to get certain things.
I think some context around that too. When we first showed Tetris Effect, we brought it to E3 the first time it was playable, and it was the other direction. So like even people who played really well got like a C or a D, and we had this experience where people would be like, "This is so cool! I love this game! I love this game!" And then they got a D, and they'd be like, "Oh, I guess I suck. I thought I was having a good time. I guess I wasn't actually having a good time." I think the team kind of overcorrected this time. I think the answer is absolute. I think it's way too generous. It's way too easy. I'm like, I didn't play that good, and I got an S. And I think one of the ideas is that on easy, it would be, even in the final game, it will be tuned such that per difficulty, it will be more forgiving. Again, to encourage players who are playing easy to get them to feel that way. But you do also at the same time, like Charles is saying, it's a balancing act. You do want people to aspire to like, oh, okay, this is objectively how I can expect to get better. Oh, I'm like a C. Okay, yeah, that's my first time. I guess that makes sense or whatever. I want to get a B. I want to get an A. And then like you really put in the time to get like an S rank or have a great game or something like that. So yeah, that's something that will definitely, tuning will be definitely different in the final game. And yeah, definitely harder than where it is now.
Okay, cool. That clarity is going to be very helpful for some of the players right now. But okay, yeah. Let's see. What do I have next here? So
let's talk. I teased the HDR conversation.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to make sure we talk about that before in the time today. So because we've gotten, this is something that we've gotten a lot of feedback on. Again, another thing like the tuning that we knew was going to be something that people cared about, that people would want to hear about. Yeah, this one is, I totally get it that this is disappointing. It goes back to the talk that I was talking about earlier, how, there's stuff that we would really want to do in a perfect world, we would absolutely do it. And HDR falls into that, but just for given the practical realities, it's not going to be in Lumines Arise. And just to talk a little bit about the practical realities, this was a big decision. I should say it's a big job for this game. So not every game is the same, but in particular with Lumines, and the team learned this working on Tetris Effect, actually implementing HDR would be a really big job. It's a really big lift. There's all of the stages, there's all of the modes, a bunch of them we haven't talked about yet. There's every stage goes through usually at least 3 kind of phases of it. There's the burst mode. There's just all these different versions of it. And then the team is really, like, if you would have seen the game a year ago, it's actually not, in a sense, not too different than it is now, because so much of it is tuning and fine tuning and dialing in exact colors that things use and stuff like that. And again, that process is not finished, but the team needs all the time they can do that for the stuff that's already there. And HDR added, like, redoing that again for the entire, would have added redoing that again for like the entire game. So it's almost like rebalancing for an entire game. For a lot of games, it's not probably as much of a heavy lift, but for this team, which is a small team, and this game and the way the game is set up, it's actually like a really, really huge task. And so the team had to make this call really like a couple years ago. And given where we were, the engine that we're using, the way that we have our workflow and setup, and again, like the nature of the game, where it's like, hey, is this going to blow out the color here? Will you be able to tell like the pieces how they're different less? When you activate burst mode, is that going to like burn your eyes?
Yeah, like the readability stuff we were even talking about earlier, right? Like that's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. And so, yeah, it just would have added a whole nother, basically, game to have to tune. And we just had to make a call and prioritize, getting in some of the other stuff and content and multiplayer and different platforms and stuff like that. So, again, yeah, I totally understand it. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to me. I have an HDR-capable TV. I wish it could. But hopefully people are seeing from the demo that it's still a gorgeous, like, showpiece game. It still shows off your OLED hotshot monitor or TV or whatever. Even if we do understand how it's disappointing to hear, like, it's not gonna support HDR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well put. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Charles, before we hop on to our next question here. But
I think Mark's explained it very well. Yeah, it's just
more questions. We don't have too much time left. We're against the clock, right?
We'll do a speed run here.
And bonus round. Yeah, let's get in the speed round.
All right, bonus round. Let's start it because I see this already a lot in the chat, and we do have it in the docket here. But so where's the question? Will Lumines Arise be coming to other gaming platforms, Switch 2, etc.? I think we've been entirely focused on the PS5 and Steam release at this time. But yeah, anything you want to add to that, Mark?
Yeah, we this is title that we're doing with PlayStation. They've been amazing partners. You know, we debuted in a state of play. We're super excited about that. We're really happy to be going on Steam. Like all of our games, you know, if there is a demand for it, we have a history of doing other versions later. Again, when there's a reason to or a demand for. In the example of Humanity, it was fun coming out on Game Pass because that had like user-generated content. Or like Tetris Effect Connected was great for all players for it to come out on other platforms because it just meant more multiplayers, more people to match against, right?
Yeah.
A bigger community to play against. And so, you know, like everything, all these decisions are start with like a creative choice. Do we want to? Yes. Like then the second choice is, can we? Do we have the wherewithal to do it? Is the team available? Is the money there? Is there the demand from the players? So the part that people can do now is express that demand and make sure that we get that part of it checked off. The other parts of it, sales, opportunity, team availability, and stuff like that, is TBD. But definitely let us know. Do what you can on that one checkbox, and let us know. Like, yeah, it'd be great to have it for this, or same with any other ideas you have about the game. Like, we want to hear it.
Cool. Yeah, well put. You know, yeah, let's continue with our bonus round here, just so we can make the most of your time before you guys have to head out. But let's see. So,
lightning round, Austin. Yeah. Lightning round.
Will the game be Steam Deck verified
I'll make
at
shorter
launch?
answers too.
We are shooting for Steam Deck verification, but Charles, you can probably elaborate on that.
Yeah, you know, the team, we all have Steam Decks. You know, we're really we really want it to be a really great experience in the Steam Deck. So yeah, we're definitely aiming for it. Yeah. lightning round. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
All right, next question. What are these avatars in the top right of our screen right now? Right now it's randomized, but will I be able to customize these avatars at a later time?
Yes, you will be.
Yes. Next question.
Next question.
No, avatars just okay. Avatars are a big part of the game. They're going to be more and more. You're starting to see the next step of it. Obviously, our digital deluxe edition is giving avatars. There's a reason behind that. It's going to be big for bragging rights, big for the stuff you're seeing in the community hub. Customizing it and all the different parts and pieces that you can get and unlock is a big part of we call it the Lumipon, the kind of gotcha machine that you are constantly aiming towards and getting new pieces and collecting all that. So yeah, look forward to that stuff. Next question.
Cool. Wait. Can I talk about Lumi a little bit? The Lumi. Okay, really quick. They're going to be in like all the different modes that you're in. So the Lumi avatar, he's going to be with you everywhere. They're going to be with you anywhere you are. So you know, they're going to just lots of places to use them. That's all.
All right. I see this a lot on social media, but are there any plans for physical/vinyl release for Lumines Arise?
Same answer as ports, I would say, but we have a history of doing that, and we love physical stuff. I'm old enough to have remembered a time when there was only physical stuff, so I particularly really am into that stuff. We have a great history of doing pretty cool merch with some pretty cool partners, so like I would say like we want to do that and like watch this space kind of thing.
So demo only has online matchmaking. Will there be local multiplayer, and or can I set up private lobby with a friend, Charles?
Yes, there definitely will be. You can do all that. You can put local. Yeah, you can set up your private room. Yeah, all that will be available. Yeah.
During burst, what's the deal with the opposite color cells flying up? I played a lot, but I can't figure it out. Yeah, that might take a second for it to really click, but definitely check out, if you want to replay the tutorial section, there's some nice text there. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. But pretty much as you make the square bigger, it's going to project away the other colors to the top, and when the burst ends, it's all going to come down for a big combo, right? Yeah, if there's anything, Charles, you want to add to that remark?
Up there. You can see the dots, right? The represented the pieces that have flown up, Meteor style. I think is part of where that idea came from. They're going to come crashing back down, and now you can see like some of them are 3 dots. That's the bigger stack that's going to come back down. So yeah, it's kind of like a second combo that you get after performing a burst.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that all comes running down like that's a great way to put it, Meteor style, which I think some of our viewers are going to be familiar with. And it kind of keeps your combo going. gets your flow kind of reset when you go back into normal.
God bless you.
gameplay.
If you know if you get a Meteos reference, God bless you, because
Yes.
you've been around. That's a deep cut.
The chat is
Again,
going
my
wild
boss
right now. Yeah.
worked on that. That's a deep cut. God bless you. We love you.
One of my favorite games personally, but let's see. I think we covered most of the big things. So thank you guys for your time. Let me see if there's anything fun I can end the stream with here. And of course, we still have that question open on the Discord. So if we missed your question, I'll try my best to answer some of them and maybe get some help from Mark or Charles to answer you later on next week. So I'll leave the Q&A chat open for a while if you have any questions coming up. But
let me ask a question. So as we close out and like everybody, get into the weekend Lumi Live, please. Let's stress test it. Let's get to 200,000. Let's make sure we get to see all of the stuff. I'm sorry, 2 million. You've got to put some commas in there. You got to put some commas in there. But make a note, Charles. We got to get some commas in those numbers up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to 2 million. Let's get to 2 million. But I want to know, Charles, for the weekend Lumi Live. I've completely lost my train of thought. God damn it! My 2 million. Give me a
burst
second.
mode to get to 2 million. There you go. Let's play lots of burst mode, burst battle.
Okay, sorry, I know what it is. Is there a plan for there to be, like there is with the Weekend Ritual, a leaderboard to show like contributors for the Weekend Lumi Live, to rank the contributors for Weekend Lumi Live?
That's an excellent question. I'd have to double check.
Because I want to get people, I want to encourage people, like, hey, get out there and play and see if you can get to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah,
but I realized, like, I know that there was that idea, but okay, we'll get back.
It's very granular. It's very granular, the leaderboards in general. There's a lot of different areas that we are having leaderboards for. So
that should totally be a thing. Hopefully, watch this space. We'll confirm that.
If it's not, it will be a thing then. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of leaderboards to look forward to if you are just trying to chill out in single player, which I think is a lot of our OG Luminous players. That's kind of their vibe, right? So, excited for you all to get your hands on Leaderboard League, etc. But I think we can probably close out here. I know we're coming up on time here for you, Mark and Charles. So, that being said, thank you for your time. Any closing thoughts or shout outs to any community? They've been doing some awesome stuff, by the way, like we mentioned with making these massive bursts, etc. But any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I would say, there's a lot more to come. We mentioned a couple other things. You see things grayed out in the demo. There's a lot more single player content to get to. There's other multiplayer. We talked about like the leaderboard league levels. There's that doorway in the demo. They're more asynchronous but competitive multiplayer. Again, very leaderboard driven stuff. But so a lot more to come. A lot more to talk about. VR mode is really freaking cool as well for those who imbibe. But the other thing is just please keep all the feedback coming. It's been great. Tell a friend, make sure everybody knows this is the last weekend that this demo is going to be available. So we want to get as many people playing as possible, both to get feedback, to stress test things, to get our matchmaking and make sure everything is working right. It is still a beta as well as a demo. So please forgive any hiccups. Like the team was really great to react to a couple early things that we had the first day or two, but we're going to be watching everything. So thanks so much for being a member of the community, for coming on our Discord, for joining things like this. Like you're part of the team too, in a sense, like helping us get this game be the best that it can be. So like we super appreciate that, and please like keep it going, tell a friend, do what you can to get the word out there, both now and leading up to November 11th.
Excellent.
Totally.
Charles, any closing thoughts on your end as well?
Yeah, definitely keep November 11th in your minds. That's Pokey Day. It's Pokey, if anyone doesn't know, the little chocolate candy thing. So, and also one thing I wanted to add with it too is I know we talk about Steam Deck a lot, but it also runs really well on the Portal, the PlayStation Portal thing, because they have that extra vibration and everything on it. So I totally, if you do have that, I would recommend checking it out on that. But yeah, I've just been super blown away by everything the community's done. You guys have been, I mean, getting over 400 bursts is just mind-boggling for me. So it's been great, and yeah, everything Mark said totally. You guys are like one of the team members. So, and all the feedback, definitely the team is looking at it, and we very much appreciate all the feedback, and we're going to be looking to see how much we can, get into the final build and everything. So, and definitely check out the game. Yeah.
Shout outs, by the way, to Sushi Drews in the chat who helped us with our explainer video. If you saw it, who's been awesome. Definitely check out all of his channels. Like, subscribe, give him some love as well. But yeah, thanks everybody for showing up this morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are in the world. And yeah, let's get to 2 million. Let's get to 2 million this weekend and see what this astronaut is going to do.
Yes, be sure to download the demo. Help us out with the Lumi Live event. Wish list while you're at it, or pre-order. 10% off for PS Plus players. Check out the new music. And also, yeah, FYI, tomorrow we'll be streaming to the Classic Tetris channel and kind of interacting with our Tetris community, and that will be more multiplayer focused. And I know a lot of you were trying to snipe me on stream and get against me in matchmaking on Tuesday. You'll have all day tomorrow to do that, and that's going to be a more open community vibe. And yeah, we'll be sharing that to our Discord. But
what's your record, Austin? What's your win-loss record, roughly?
Not to toot my own horn, but it's pretty good. So I want the.
I should hope so. You have a little bit of an unfair advantage. Let's be honest.
That is true. That is true. And I've played puzzle games all my life, so it clicks pretty naturally. But I will say I'm still not the best enhanced player.
Well, that said, you are still representing Enhance and the brand and your job. So we expect the best. We expect excellence.
I will say one of the only people I've lost to so far has been another Enhance employee. So there's something about that to be said. I've probably lost to only a couple people, and one of them was our good friend Green Tea Tatajima-san. But yes.
I was going to say, I don't want you losing to anybody who's not a name puzzle community player. So like a Blink
that is the only thing that's happened so far, Mark. So the only I had a tiebreaker battle with like a speedrunner, the Japanese speedrunner Mafios, and that went to tiebreaker. So I'll let you know I'm holding my own.
That is acceptable.
Yes, yeah,
that is acceptable.
Super impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, those you can throw a match even once in a while. Give them throw them a little bone every once in a while if you need to keep them playing. But otherwise, we expect to see you crushing people on the regular.
I'll take that to heart tomorrow and try not to be too humble about it, but or too egotistical about it. But yeah, with that being said, I think we can close out. Mark and Charles, thank you for your time. And somebody was asking if we're going to do another QA leading into launch. Most likely, we'll try to get something going. We'll definitely have a lot of events planned around the launch time, so stay tuned and stuff like that. But yeah, I think with that, we can bid adieu and say farewell, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.
Maloney,